Welcome back everybody to a private market update. Well, just a market update. Well, a lot of thoughts running through many people's head. I had a stream yesterday with Mr. CM, and we talked about the market situation, and we saw how afraid his audience was because it was on his channel. And that is an indication of how people usually react to these type of situations when they don't have any set of rules. Nothing. All right. So when you don't have any set of rules, it's like driving a car and not knowing actually how to drive a car too much. You don't know when to put a gas, or maybe you know only how to put a gas, but you don't know how to put a brake. So you're afraid that you will crash. Or you're always afraid you're going to crash because you don't know how to hit the brakes. Same thing in trading. If you don't know how to hit the brakes, for example, which in this analogy is going to be a stop loss, so you're afraid constantly. Unless things are going your way, of course, then you're happy all the time. And that's just bad tactics. And that's not what we believe in our channel. The No Edge, No Trade channel is here to showcase that in order to do this is a profession, right? This is a skill set. In order to do this, you need to have that at least a minimum set of rules. Look, trading is like a huge microcosmos. All right, huge. It's like huge microcosmos of unlimited creativity almost, right? You can do so many things within the trading realm to be successful or not successful that it will take too much of your brain to really comprehend everything. That's why you need to minimize that world to a very small place, which is like a framework. And you need to operate only within that framework, and within that framework you are protected, mostly protected, all right? Unless there are things that happen that you do not take into account, aka FTX bankruptcy. Is something I did not take into account back in the days. All right, today I do take into account exchanges and counterparty risk, but black swans can happen. But except any black swan, you are protected within that realm. And that's why we are happy. We're happy right now. I'm just as usual. It's usual Wednesday for me. Market crash yesterday. It seemed on low volume. Then boom, bought. A lot of coins were bought and bouncing today. Bigger volume on the bounce. Maybe it was a sort of capitulation. That always can happen, which would be funny because yesterday when I made the thumbnail, I wrote capitulation, which wasn't really the idea. I wasn't thinking like we are in capitulation, but I thought this seems like how people capitulate usually. Now, I see people sometimes on YouTube like have in their hand like a crystal ball, like their profits or whatever, and that's just stupid. No one has a crystal ball, so we don't know what's going to entail. But let's dive a little bit into the markets and see what type of information we can get out of it and how we can make some decisions based on that. I will give you a sneak peek into it. I'm just waiting right now, right? That's the sneak peek. So let's go. This is us. I'm going to start with Messari. Messari is a website I love looking at for data, all right? And as you can see, we have elevated real volumes. The difference between volume and real volume in Messari is that Messari cleans all the wash volume on exchanges. So I trust the volume on Messari more than I trust the volume on exchanges. But you can see it's twice as much as it was yesterday when I made the video. So, but this is in the past 24 hours, right? So not within a candle. So in the past 24 hours, this is the volume. So something happened overnight my time that really pushed a lot of volume in, a lot of buying of some altcoins. Bitcoin did not, even though there is more than double the volume on Bitcoin, it did not move the needle on Bitcoin too much. And we're going to dive in the chart in just 1 second. Look, anything else is just, we're having bounce days. We're not seeing anything. Many times in just normal times when I'm looking for opportunities, I'm going to find new coins with elevated volume here. But right now I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary, right? So let's dive into the charts to try and see what we can see from the charts and the price action itself. And let's start with Bitcoin, right? Big Daddy Bitcoin, our dear BTC, Bitcoin. I can see that, dominance is kind of getting hammered just a little bit. So let's see if this means anything. Right now it means nothing. It's just in this range. So as long as we are in, let's say this range over here, it means nothing. So Bitcoin is just, dominating so far. But as you can see, look, even though Bitcoin did get volume yesterday, it did not get enough volume to really bounce, right? So you see that we ended the days, 2 days in a row in a red, right? With a little bit actually elevated volume over here in this exchange. Let's see on a more prominent exchange. I want to see something else. Let's see on Coinbase, which is traded more heavily. Same thing. Let's see on Binance what it does. Same thing actually. So I don't know. I did not look at the chart yesterday, the volume, but on Messari it looked like low volume in. But looking at the charts, you can see that we have actually elevated volume on the downside, and we had very small volume on the upside. So this is not good. This is not good, and I'm sorry, I'm just noticing this right now, but we have a red dominant tape in the past few weeks, and it's actually a negative dominant tape. Actually, you can go all the way. Here was actually, but even from here, you've seen that the majority of the big volumes were red. Here we had some potentially coming, greenish, which is blue in my chart. Jomo, why are you saying green and red? You know what I mean. Yeah, but right now, if you just take the last 2 weeks, this is really, really red dominant tape. Like almost no green volume in. This is concerning a little bit. I won't lie. And combining this with the price action, which is really weak, this is concerning, all right? This is a little bit concerning to the downside. Now, I must stick to my biases, but I will rephrase it. I need to get to sit down on the information to really reevaluate my biases, because my biases, which are created on the weekly study session, are to the long side still. Why? Because we're still above the 50-day moving average, and this is still a potential base, right? This is still a nice looking base, right? It's a base. It's not a topping phase, right? It doesn't look anything like a topping. It can be a topping. I'm not saying it can't. I'm just saying it doesn't look like a topping. There's a difference. Right? So it doesn't look like a topping, but it still can be. It looks like a base. It looks like it just wants to paint this beautiful base. Some people call it an inverse head and shoulders. I don't mind. Now, and for me, usually, as long as we're above the 150-day moving average, as long as we're above the 200-day moving average, and they're sloping up, we're in a bull market, right? We're in a bull market. Now, the fact that we, did not continue ferociously, too bad, but that just happens. So that's why actually my bias was to be neutral in the weekly study session. I wasn't hugely bullish. I was still in the thinking that the narratives that are dominating the market are unchanged. And if they are unchanged, so nothing should change in the trajectory of the midterm market move, right? Nothing should change. However, we are seeing some changes. We're seeing price action getting weaker, right? We're seeing volume, red tape dominated, high, low volume in, high volume out, which is on reverse. You should have high volume in, low volume out. So it's reversed over here. So this is concerning. So these are a bit of the red flags that I need to be aware of. However, we got to bounce, and we can still bounce. We can still bounce. Now, I have something I want to share with you. You know what? I'm going to do it on another video. I'm going to do something else in another video, which is it's an interesting piece of thing. But let's remain right now on a bias which is really neutral. That's why I said in the beginning where my stance is right now. My stance is just sitting tight. We have DCA'd in Bitcoin mainly, so we are wildly profitable on a DCA only. We have some other coins which we left 5% of the profits. That's okay, but all of our capital by trading capital in cash. So as I said, the breaks are there, the tactics, the framework is so good, our process is so good that we constantly get out of the market way before it really crashes or whatever. And actually we'll start shorting if really big crash will happen. Anyway, but so far, even though things are concerning, we're not in the woods, right? Because usually you say we're not out of the woods when you're still in trouble. So I'm saying we're not in trouble just yet. So we're still out of the woods, right? We're still out of the woods. I don't know if you can say it, but I used it. There you go. Ethereum looks very much like Bitcoin right now, but it's still about the 50-day moving average and had kind of a shakeout yesterday on that and bounced. So let's see what it wants to do. Volume distribution is a bit better. Solana is getting hammered. BNB sticking to it. This is such a beautiful base, such a beautiful breakout, but it broke down. The market is not prime for it. BCH looking like shit, and this coin is in a bear market of its own. Individual bear market. AVAX same thing. Individual bear market. How long is this base been for? Oh, this is twice as long as the Bitcoin base, right? This looks like a topping chart, right? Now the completion of this type of chart will be something like this, right? Something like this. Woo, and ciao until boop, gets back up or whatever, right? This looks like just like an echo bubble actually of this. Yeah, this might have just been it for AVAX, by the way. This might have just been it for AVAX. Rune too, by the way. Rune is looking like this very much. Let's look at the history of Rune. Yeah, like a this is like an echo bubble, right? This is like an echo bubble type chart. Rune as well, if you measure this, 200 days, this is a topping. This is a stage 3 topping pattern, right? Bitcoin looks nothing like it. Nothing like it. Over here, back over here, this looked like a topping, right? Now you still made money in the topping phase on altcoins and even on Bitcoin if you knew how to do it. But right now, and let's measure how long this took. All right, let's say from here. Here all the way here, or maybe all the way here if you want to call it whatever. At least 200 something days or more you can call it, right? From 250 to 400, however you want to measure it. Right now, it doesn't look like. Can this be a double top, and just, go down from here? Yeah, look, this can happen. This can happen. And this can be a different type of bubble, echo bubble, right? Yeah, this can happen. This can definitely happen. But it doesn't look like it just yet. It doesn't look like it just yet, right? Just yet, it doesn't look like it. Right now, it still looks like a base. If we go below these levels, then that's really like probably done. Really probably done, and the bull market isn't the bull market we expected, and this is something differently, totally different. Totally different, right? Below these levels, below these levels. You don't want to go below these levels. You want to maintain it. INJ, INJ is, let's see, INJ actually is different than Rune and AVAX. It doesn't look similar, right? It doesn't look similar. What this looks like, yes, it had it had a kind of a topping phase over here, and then went into a bear market of its own, still a bear market stage 4, but this doesn't look like something that has ended. Rune and AVAX just look like they have ended actually, and will just go down even if we continue up. INJ still has a possibility to actually do something like this, right? Do something like this, and then boom, create another bigger cycle. INJ is still newer as well than Rune, and went to new all-time highs territory. So it's a bit different. Anyways, I'm ranting on some things. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Let's go on some altcoins. We got stopped out. Ton is not getting any love, right now. So let's take a look at the strongest coins that we had in the past month and see how they are acting today. So Tone, no love, no bounce. Ondo is bouncing, which is really beautiful to see. Well, they got hammered more than Tone, all right? But this is beautiful. Let's see what this means. Pepe got a bounce as well, around 20%, but he got hammered more. So Tone, in contrast to them, did not go below the 50-day moving average, and Ondo and Pepe did. So maybe that's just a repricing above, getting back above the 50-day moving average again. Let's just wait and see. BNB is alrighty over there, smallish bounce. CAS, not too much. OM, like a garbage can. OM, probably this is a stage 3 topping. The probability this is stage 3 topping and now we're going to go down from here is high on OM. Look, the action on altcoins is not good, right? The actions on altcoins is not good. This is looking like a stage 3 topping too. This looks bad, just bad right now, right? Not good, right? Let's see how Jasmine looks like. Jasmine is still one of such a strong asset right now. Let's see if this can create a base and continue. We don't know. Sometimes, you know, maybe Jasmine wanted to triple and quadruple from here, but the market didn't let it. So it's creating another base until the market gives it time and boom, then it creates another, just like this. Just like what happened, you know, over here, just like this move over here. It's just like it needed to digest the profits and create a base for another move up. Brett, let's see how Brett and Turbo are getting, you know, getting some love back. Turbo, not Brett more, just newer coin, not too much. Yeah. Anyways, the action of altcoins isn't signaling something positive, right? So we were looking at Bitcoin and it looked concerning, right? We had those red flags. Price action is weak, you know, low volume on the in, high volume out on the downside. That's red flags all there. Other bigger caps, leaders of this bull market, Rune, INJ, AVAX, all got crushed and hammered. They are in their own bear market. Some probably won't see higher prices again ever, you know, even though some people are in love with those coins, but you know, I don't get married to coins, so I don't care talking and bashing them a little bit. The strongest coins that of this past few months, all right, or past month that we were trading, that we got stopped out of, and are supposedly the highest relative strength ones, because you know how we trade high relative strength, are not looking too good. Some got, you know, a better bounce, other did not. So not too much, and these are the strongest ones. We can go and check just on the Binance chart, Binance list. These are all the coins on Binance, by the way. If you don't follow me, you don't know what this is. So yeah, 10% bounce is the biggest bounce we are seeing right now on. Oh shit! Look at they are. We traded it over here. Look, we took the over here. Over here. Let me remove these because these are just stupid to have right now. This is amazing. This is why you always have stops on your trades. This is a clear example why you don't just buy an asset and hold it. You buy an asset with a plan, you have a stop loss in place in case you are wrong on the idea, and boom, if it stopped you out. This is why we got in over here, right? This kind of a high breakout, right? But it was over here. This was the day we got in. It got our way a little bit and crashed, and we got out probably here at 44. So a little bit of a loss, nothing too big. Since then, look what it has done. So we lost on it a little bit, around 6%. If you had a $10,000 position, you lost $600. No biggie, all right? If you have a $100,000 account, that's 0.6% of your capital. If you have a $50,000 account, that's 1.2% of your capital. If you have a $25,000 account, that's only 2.5% of your capital. Still very much attainable to gain back on the good times. That's why you always think in risk on total capital on the trades. And since then, and if you have not sold in a loss, you would be right now after the bounce at a 40% loss, which is huge, right? Let's say you had a $10,000 account. You lost 4,000. No, you had a $10,000 position. You lost $4,000. $4,000 from a $100,000 account is 4%, which already hurts. But you can say, some people will say, 4% for me, that's way too big. 2.5 is like the most biggest loss of my total capital I will ever take. But 4%, some people will say it's okay, not for me. You have a $50,000 account, that's already an 8% loss. That's huge. And if you have a $25,000 account, that's 16%. That's even worse. That's like almost blowing up your account. That's bad tactics. Not stopping yourself out of trades is bad tactics. Hey, you might be watching right now on the other side of this and saying, but you lost on this trade. Bah, ha, ha, ha. So fucking what? You don't get it. If you're laughing at me because I got stopped out with a loss, you just don't get trading, and you're probably poor, miserable. And if you're not poor and miserable, you will become poor and miserable. Do I wish that for you? No. I want you to understand, to make money. I want you to be rich, but you won't get rich with bad trading tactics. If you're a bad trader or a bad investor, you will just get hammered and decimated over and over again. All right, even if you make a lot of money in the bull runs, you will lose it all back inevitably and more, just because you don't have tactics and you laugh at people because they have a lot. Look, I'm right on average 30 to 50% of the time only. I get stopped out more often than not. You know who is like me? You know who is just like me? Michael Jordan, the best basketball player ever. 50% of his shots missed. You know who else is like me? Roger Federer. He won only 54% of each individual point he ever had. Only 54%. Roger Federer. You can go as well to Tiger Woods. Same statistics. So they're the elite, all right? They are the elite sports athletes. Trading is a performance activity like sports. Very much you need to think about your win rate. So if you laughed about me, it's your loss, dude, because you're not understanding anything that I'm trying to teach over here. But this is exactly why we have breaks in our framework. Remember the framework we talked about? In the framework, we have breaks. What are those breaks? It's our stop loss. If you don't have stop loss, you get hammered. That's basically it. So AR, look, nothing. And that's one of the top movers in Binance in today's candle, right? FET, look at this. This was just an amazing shot. I missed this. I was blind as a bat for shorts, and this happened because I was bull biased, and that's perfectly fine. I don't mind missing the opportunity. But look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Beautiful. GRT. So look, nothing. Oh, BNX. That's funny. We traded BNX a while ago over here. Made some money, and bam, it lost over here. This is looking like it's stopping right now. So look, nothing is looking good. Let's look at Panda, which is one of the strongest assets in the cycle. Panda is looking okay. Panda is looking like it wants to hold over here. Maybe we'll have individual coins running soon, and Panda will be one of them. Yes, by all means, you need to have Panda on your watch list. It can still, crash from here all the way down. We don't know, but right now it's looking okay. What I'm trying to say is you don't see anything. You don't see nothing on Binance right now. All the coins are not looking constructive. Nothing is creating a real setup. Everything is mostly breaking down, mostly broke down already and just bouncing. So look, I'm cutting a long story short right now, and let's just get back to, what I was trying to say. Full webcam. Thank you very much. Everything that I've talked today, two things. First of all, I gave you a run about the market. Hopefully you got the information. And if I summarize the information is that things look concerning right now. Things are not looking good. If you look at Bitcoin as the big daddy, as one that takes the market up or down, it's not looking good. A lot of red flags, weak price action, broke down below the 50-day moving average, breaking out of support. It's breaking down on big volume. So low volume in on the up days and big volume on the down day, which is the reverse of what it should be. The good things in Bitcoin is just it's still within the base. It still looks like a base that is potentially a continuation base. And as long as we're above the 60K, we should be okay. Lost momentum, okay. Below the 60K concerning, below the 57 really concerning unless it's a shakeout and back, right? Now, does it mean if we go below the 57, we will never see a bull market? No, it's not what it means. It means that it's just really concerning, changes my biases and so on. So Bitcoin is not looking good. And if you look at altcoins, for either to confirm or to negate what we are seeing in Bitcoin. It's confirming. So all the leaders for the past year of the bull market are breaking down for a while now. Stage 3 topping, now in stage 4 looking bad. Take a Rune, BC, Bitcoin Cash, take even Solana, probably AVAX, INJ, not looking good, right? And if you take the leaders of the past month only as well, they are breaking down as well and not holding so well. And even though some got a small bounce, they're not getting a big bounce. So that's concerning as well. So overall, things are looking concerning for the market. But all of this comes in contrast to the macro narratives. And the narratives are what pushes the market, the entire global liquidity market, up or down on risk assets or on less riskier assets. And you can see that S&P and NASDAQ are still in all-time highs. So there's still faith to believe that the environment is still risk on, quote unquote, because of the narratives in the NASDAQ. But price action is king, and maybe investors just lost appetite on crypto. They're going to dump crypto and just going to be in stocks, and the correlation between stocks and crypto will just be decoupled. It can happen, and it's part of the scenario planning that we're trying to do over here. So what I did today was scenario planning over here. So that's one thing, and we did in today's update. And the second thing we did today is try to show you why you need to take the entire realm of trading, all right, and put it down into a smaller framework which you operate in this small realm. You cannot operate within a huge, big realm. You cannot. Operating within a big realm, all right, I will try to give an analogy, is like putting two boxers within a city and fight. One can just run and the one won't fight him and they won't be able to fight. No, they need to be within a box or a ring in order to really find one another and fight, right? Maybe a bad analogy, but hopefully it helps. So the same thing in trading. You can't trade in the big realm. You won't know what to do. Too many things, where should I go? So you need to into a framework that comes with experience and knowledge, and within that framework, you have rules that protect yourself, you trust yourself, and you don't get scared, and you don't get too excited too much as well. You don't get too scared. You just work and operate within this realm and make money consistently, big money when the environment lets you, and you lose small when the environment doesn't let you. And yes, losses are part of the game, very much part of the game. To make $200,000 a year, I need to make $400,000 and lose $200,000, and I will be left with $200,000 profit eventually. So that is it for today. Hopefully you got the message of what I'm trying to tell you, and it helps you. All right, everyone, until next time, no edge, no trade.